Good morning. Breaking news. There's overnight word from lawmakers that a tentative agreement has been reached on the $700 billion bank bailout. But when will their breakthrough turn into a real deal?
Hurricane watch. The 11th storm of this busy hurricane season is steaming up the East Coast for New England, and it has Maine on its first hurricane watch in nearly 2 decades.
And the death of a legend. Oscar winner, philanthropist, race car driver, family man, cool hand.
Sometimes nothing can be a real cool hand.
America remembers Paul Newman today, Sunday, September 28th, 2008.
From NBC News, this is Today with Lester Holt and Jenna Wolfe, live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Today on this Sunday morning. I'm Lester Holt.
And I'm Jenna Wolfe, and we're going to start with some breaking news.
Now more to the passing of Oscar winner Paul Newman. He died at his Connecticut home following a battle with cancer. Here now a look back at his remarkable life and career.
What's the matter with you?
I can't swim!
Paul Newman once said, "I've worked really hard because nothing ever came easily to me."
25.
But the icon of cool sure made it look like a breeze.
I don't want to be hoggish. Lon, you want a piece of? It's not enough that you just have talent. You gotta have character, too.
Born in Cleveland, Newman grew up in a middle-class family. He loved sports and began to act. In 1949, Newman graduated from Ohio's Kenyon College and married Jackie Witt. He enrolled in the Yale Drama School and moved to New York. He performed on Broadway, was cast in television plays, and met actress Joanne Woodward, who would become his second wife. In 1954, he made his first movie, the historical drama The Silver Chalice.
I shall go to Rome to complete my promised task.
A critical flop, it nearly derailed his career from the start.
Well, what can I do for you, huh? Let me do something for you.
But in 1956, he struck Hollywood gold playing fighter Rocky Graziano in Somebody Up There Likes Me.
He's wide open now. I'm gonna go out this route. I'm gonna bust his head open.
It made Newman an overnight sensation. That film sparked a succession of indelible hits, including in 1958, The Long Hot Summer, co-starring his new wife, Joanne Woodward.
What is, the victory of a cat on a hot tin roof?
That same year, he was honored with his first of 9 Oscar nominations as Brick in Tennessee Williams' Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. More acclaimed films followed, and in 1969, he paired up with Robert Redford for Butch Cassidy in The Sundance Kid.
Next time I say let's go someplace like Bolivia, let's go someplace like Bolivia. Next time.
In 1973, the two again joined forces for one of Newman's biggest hits, The Sting.
Must be 15, 20 grand here.
In 1982, Newman and writer A.E. Hotchner launched Newman's Own, a line of food products, with all profits donated to charity. 4 years later, he established the Hole in the Wall Gang Camp, a year-round retreat for seriously ill children. In 1987, Newman finally won an Oscar for The Color of Money.
I feel like picking it up again. I mean, you're always around those pool halls, you know, you see these guys.
I'm too old. My wheels are shot. It's a young man's game.
2 more Oscar nominations followed, but in 2007, Newman retired as an actor, saying, "I've been doing it for 50 years. That's enough."
Diane, boy, he can have this little life anytime he wants to. You hear that? Oh, you hear it? Come on. You're welcome to it, old-timer.
Martha Stewart is a longtime friend of Paul Newman's and one of his former neighbors in Westport, Connecticut. Martha, good morning to you. Thanks so much for coming on.
Good morning, Lester.
So we just spent the last few minutes talking about the career that so many of us know well. You knew him personally for some 30 years, often in charitable circles. And in fact, the last time you saw him was at a charity event in June. Tell me about the man you knew.
Well, Paul was a really fun neighbor. You would meet him downtown in Westport. Everybody kind of respected fame and celebrity and never really bothered him. So he liked that town very, very much. And it was fun to serve him when I had a little store in Westport, Connecticut. I met him, I think, in the early 70s when I first moved there. He was always here and there and about. And then I worked with him on a big project. I had restored an old house, an 1850 38 farmhouse, and I was writing a book about it. When it was done, we created a showcase, a show house, and Paul's camp, the Hole in the Wall Gang camp, was the beneficiary. And so I worked with Paul day in and day out for several months, and I remember him calling me in the morning saying, "Stewart, Newman here." And it was like business. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I'm talking to an American icon every single day. I should be, every woman in America would want to talk to Paul Newman at 7 a.m.
And he was an American icon as an actor. Were you surprised a year ago when he said he's done with acting?
No, I mean, I'm sure that he felt that after 50 years of phenomenal roles that he played and phenomenal acting, he had other things to occupy his mind. The camp, his business, the Newman's Own wonderful, wonderful foodstuffs that are sold all over America, and that most of the proceeds go to his charitable organizations. All of that really took a lot of time, and he thought about it a lot. I even sat in on the first tastings of Newman's Own, that legendary salad dressing, and I added the herbs to the dressing. I said, you know, it had to have a little bit more freshness, and they listened to me, he and Hutch, and we were in Hutch's kitchen, tasting, dipping lettuce leaves, and he really cared about every little detail.
Well, who better a consultant than Martha Stewart? Well, let me ask you about the relationship with Joanne Woodward, 50 years. Tell me about the two of them together.
Well, they seemed to be soulmates, and they did everything together. I would see them out shopping. Joanne, of course, they both had their own careers, but they really seemed to respect each other's careers and their work, and they were very involved with their children.
All right. Well, Martha Stewart, you were lucky to have known him. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your memories and thoughts. And we'll have much more on the life of Paul Newman in just a few moments. But for now, we want to get a check of the morning's other top stories. For that, we're going to say good morning to Tamron Hall at the News Desk. Tamron?
Good. Jenna.
Janice, thanks. You know, as an actor, Paul Newman had it all. He had fame and money, awards, respect, and yes, those sexy blue eyes. But Hollywood success was not enough. 25 years ago, Newman decided to share his good fortune with others, launching a legacy in giving. And a year after creating his Newman's Own line of foods, he sat down with our own Shalit and spoke about his new passion.
The first thing you've got to understand about this corporation or group of corporations, we have no plan. We have never had a plan. Hotchner and I comprise two of the great witless people in business. None of this is supposed to work, you understand. And so to imply that there's some kind of plan involved in the distribution and the marketing of this is to take us seriously.
When you first wanted to put out salad dressing, did the experts in the field tell you that you'd never make it, or did you ask for anybody's advice?
Well, we were told that we had to get marketing people to find out all the demographics of it, and that we should expect to lose, you know, $200,000 or $300,000 or $400,000, $500,000 before it turned to profit, and I think we went into profit the first month.
One thing that's very important for people to know is that you do this for the pleasure of it, and that you yourself make no profit from the salad dressing, the spaghetti sauce, or will you from the popcorn. Is that true?
That's right.
What do you do with all the money that comes in? You give it away to charity?
We've given money to foundling hospitals and cancer and cystic fibrosis and halfway houses in small towns in Connecticut and the Westport Library and the Policemen's Benevolent Association, and it seems to work out best that way. I don't know that we will always treat this way, but that's the way it's treated now.
And more than 2 decades later, Newman's Foundation has donated more than $250 million to charity, and his 11 hole-in-the-wall camps have cared for more than 135,000 sick children around the world.